If you thought The Adventures of Batman and Robin on Sega CD was the only Batman game foolish enough to take place entirely behind the wheel of the Batmobile, you'd be wrong. This is Batman Gotham City Racer, developed by Ubisoft, and released for the original PlayStation in 2001. This game is really rough to look at, not very impressive in the graphics department. By the time it came out, the PlayStation 2 had been on the market for half a year, and gamers didn't have to wait long, only a few months, for a far more layered Batman experience in Batman Vengeance, also developed by Ubisoft. So Gotham City Racer had barely anything going for it when it hit store shelves, apart from what could be taken at face value, the ability to drive the Batmobile and race around Gotham City. Though its name would suggest a racing game, calling it that is very generous. All you do in this game, spanning its 51 levels, is soulless busywork. You zigzag your way across the same 4 or 5 city locations to reach certain landmarks, to rendezvous with characters like Commissioner Gordon, stop robberies, or disarm bombs, all within time limits. There really isn't much of a story to speak of here, because the narrative of this game drives in circles, literally. Villains do crimes. You stop those crimes. They get arrested and placed in Arkham. They break out and then do more crimes. It's like a broken record, though I guess this is what it would really be like to patrol Gotham City as Batman. He doesn't kill, and none of his villains ever get properly rehabilitated. It's Groundhog Day for him, an endless living nightmare that you now get to experience in video game form. Yay! There are a ton of iconic Batman villains featured in Gotham City Racer, based on their likenesses from the new Batman adventures, but they only appear in specialized vehicles, armed with gimmick weapons, sort of like Twisted Metal. Mr. Freeze creates ice patches on the road. The Riddler puts down question mark boxes. The Mad Hatter uses giant green top hats. And the Joker has these annoying balloons that make your camera go all shaky when you collide with them. It gives me a headache. You have other rogues like Clayface, Firefly, and even Roxy Rocket, but they aren't even given vehicles. When you reach the end of their respective stages, they just automatically get imprisoned at Arkham Asylum. It's really lazy on the part of the developers, though to be honest, if they had given Firefly a vehicle to drive around in, that would have been a new level of retarded. He has wings, for fuck's sake. In some of the missions, you will have to tail the supervillains without being seen, which just means you can't hit them. I hate these levels, because this is when the shitty AI of the game is at its worst. The villains just drive down the center of the road like drunks. They don't make any attempt to avoid incoming traffic. Sometimes when they hit something, you aren't anticipating it and hit them by mistake, causing you to fail. Other times, like when I was chasing Two-Face, they just get caught on walls and you are unable to progress, which I mean is always lovely to see in games like this, right? Level 48 has you drive to City Hall to stop the Scarecrow, and when you arrive, you learn that he has been fighting Batgirl. She ends up getting injured, and you have to drive her back to the Batcave for treatment. I hope to God this is not an attempt to reference Over the Edge, the best episode from the new Batman Adventures, because if so, that's insulting. How dare this game provide such a horrendous adaptation? From what you can see from this footage, I'm sure it comes to no surprise when I say that Batman Gotham City Racer plays like absolute ass. The Batmobile slides around all over the place, like all the roads in Gotham have been covered with slick oil. When you hit walls and other obstacles, you tend to bounce all over the place, and a few levels have you drive the Batcycle as Batgirl, which somehow manages to control even worse, though I would hesitate to call whatever the hell this is supposed to be a motorcycle. I didn't even know what I was looking at when I first played this game. A a jumbled mess of polygons with wheels. If you feel real crazy and want a challenge, you can turn on first-person mode as well, though I would highly recommend you have a barf bag at the ready, as it can be very disorienting. I should mention that this game also has a patrol mode, which basically acts like free play. You can choose one of the city locations and play as either the hero vehicles or the villain ones. As the villains, you drive around committing robberies, stealing bags of cold hard cash, and facing off against the heroes, Twisted Metal style. It's honestly kind of fun, the most fun I had playing this game, which honestly isn't saying much. Batman Gotham City Racer is considered by many to be one of the worst Batman games ever made. I would have to agree, because it doesn't offer much content to it in terms of story and gameplay. It feels very unfinished, rushed. The graphics were dated even when it came out. The vehicles handle like soapboxes, and the enemy AI is just pathetic. Now, originally, I was gonna skip over this game when finishing up the last of my DC Animated Universe game reviews, but I felt ignoring a piece of bat guano this size would be wrong, and when else would I get the chance to talk about it? I'm sure there are some people out there that genuinely enjoy this game and would defend it, but I would just label them psychotic. They're probably clawing at the walls of Arkham Asylum as we speak. This has been NerdGasm. I hope you had more fun watching my review of Gotham City Racer on PS1 than I had playing through it. This is a trashy superhero game, one you will want to avoid at all costs. It's a lazy attempt at a racing game, with the name of Batman slapped onto it. If you enjoyed the video, show your support and ensure the creation of more content like this by subscribing to my channel, hitting that bell icon for notifications, and becoming a producer over on patreon.com if you can. I will see you all in the next one. Take care and stay nerdy.